What's up, guys? I am Caleb Giddings, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different than what I normally do. We're not talking about guns or techniques or anything like that. We're doing a product review of apparel, and that apparel is the Alexo Athletica tuck and carry running shorts. And these are obviously the men's version of these, but they have the same product for women. So first, before we get into this product review, let's talk about why I'm reviewing these products. The big reason is very simple. I love tacos and beer. I also love not looking like I love tacos and beer, which means I try to lead a fairly active lifestyle. And as part of that, there are times when I want to be carrying a gun when I'm leading this active lifestyle, whether I'm doing a 20-mile bike ride or going for a 4-mile run or whatever it is. There are times when I like to have a gun. And I found two solutions that work really great for that. The first is Filster Enigma, which I'm actually carrying in right now, in which I took with me on a 4-mile run the other day with absolutely zero issues. The gun stayed put, it was comfortable. After about the first mile, I wasn't even thinking about whether or not I had a gun on. I was thinking, God, it's really dark out here. Why'd I go for a run at 5 a.m.? The other product that I really like, which I'll show you, is the Hill People Gear runner's bag. And I use this mostly on the bike or when I'm doing ruck marches. You know, if I'm wearing a weighted vest with plates in it, not rifle plates, just steel weight plates, I can put this on the front of it and it doesn't scream, there's a gun in there. Same if I'm on the bike. And this thing's great. It's got a main pouch for a gun. And then in this admin pouch, I've got enough space to put a medical kit, which is pretty handy. So I really like both of these products. The Hill People Gear runner's bag and Filster Enigma have worked really, really great for me for carrying a gun while I'm working on my fitness, as Fergie says. And that's why I was initially interested in the Alexo Athletica shorts, is because they provide me another possible solution for carrying a gun while I'm working out. And the reason I thought that that might be the solution is because that's exactly how they are marketed. If you go on their website, it shows like dudes doing fitness stuff. On their Instagram, it's the same thing. In fact, they even have on their Instagram a retention test showing a guy doing 2 burpees and 8 high knees, demonstrating, at least in theory, that these are in fact acceptable for concealed carry and fitness. And that is actually going to be the crux of a lot of what this review talks about, is how they failed at that when I tried to use them for concealed carry and fitness. But before we get into that, let's actually talk about the shorts themselves. And everything I'm about to tell you is also backed up by their website. So what you have here are the shorts. I actually really, I will say this, there's some stuff I really, really like about these. And the thing I like is I'm a sucker for black on black camo patterns. Like, get out of my face. That is super cool looking. And basically what it is it's a short inseam with a belly band type holster that's sort of sewn into it, all right? And the belly band has 4 pockets. It's got 2 up front and it's got 2 in the back, depending on where you carry. The place where you're supposed to carry your gun is not in this front V-shaped pocket. It's actually in this back part right here that, you know, you can see how a gun would go down in there like that, right? And we'll demonstrate some of that with blue guns later. Now, on their website, they make 2 very, very clear statements. One, that you as the user are responsible for providing your own trigger protection, because there's obviously nothing on here that would stop a trigger from being articulated through the fabric. Now, they do sell on their website this trigger guard. This is $7. They also sell a DeSantis pocket holster or pocket shield. It's like a taco-shaped holster that folds around and goes in this pocket around your gun. But, and this is important, if you just read what's on their website, which is what a normal person would do, they present buying the shorts and buying this pocket shield, this trigger guard shield, which goes in this front pouch right here, as an acceptable and complete solution for carrying a gun. All right, that is the way it is marketed on their website. So to get this in here, you kind of have to jam it down into this pouch. And this can take a little bit of fiddling, which I found was a pain in the butt, but eventually you get it down in there. And I will say that it does block the trigger from outside access, right? So if I was trying to get at the trigger, get in there. God, this thing's a pain. All right, so if I have a gun in this back pouch and I was trying to get at the trigger from here, it does block access to the trigger in that instance. However, it failed to block access to the trigger in a practical and functional way, and I'll show you what I mean. Here's my carry gun. This is a Ruger LCR in 327 Fed Mag, which I normally carry 32 Magnums in it. I put on the Alexo shorts, which I should note, the sizing guide on their website, not great. It said my waist size, 32 inches, is a medium. These are the mediums. I had to really struggle to get them over my butt, and I don't exactly have like a giant badonkadonk, right? But anyway, so I put the gun in there and I wanted to do some dry fire reps. So we'll talk about holstering here as well. And one of the problems that I have right off the bat is it's difficult to safely put the gun in here. I wasn't able to really find a good solution to do it while I'm wearing the shorts that didn't involve covering my hand with the muzzle at some point. So anyway, you get the gun, and you jam it. You really have to jam it in here, right? So this is about as low as I can get it to sit in the shorts. And when they're actually on my body, it looks about like this, right? Here was the problem that I ran into. You can see that even just like this is sitting a little proud of the gun. And what would happen is if I was really trying to ramp a quick draw, when I would come down to get on the gun, and even if I kept my finger perfectly straight, right, here's your optimal angle. It lands like this. But if I'm really going after it, my finger could skip under this. And now you see we have a problem, right? To me, that's an unacceptable failure mode. I shouldn't be able to do that if I'm using the product as it is exactly marketed on their website. And that's the thing. That's the thing that I want to get back to, is if you just read the marketing material on their website, it presents the shorts and that rubber trigger guard as an acceptable solution for carry. And it is not an acceptable solution for carry for no other reason than during a quick dry fire, I was able to easily access the trigger guard. That's not safe, guys. The next issue that I have is also trigger access related. So I actually posted some of this stuff online already, and Alexo got into my comments. The company got into my comments asking about if I was using the DeSantis holster or not. Well, I wasn't, because it didn't say it was required. If they said, I will say this right now, if on their website they said that to properly protect the trigger, you must use the DeSantis taco holster or whatever it's called, that would eliminate at least the first half of my complaints about this as a carry system. The next issue I have is that it is difficult to safely holster the gun. You have to pry the elastic part open in some way. So that if this is sitting on my body, I would have to put like a finger or two fingers in there and like split it apart and then stick the gun in like that. And I'm gonna do this, and again, this is my same unloaded Ruger LCR. The safest way I figured that you could holster this gun was to do it while the thing's off your body, right? So I would set this up, I would take my loaded gun, and I would do it like this. So I know I'm not muzzling my hand right now because I know exactly where my hand is in space, and then I can kind of shove it the rest of the way down in here, all right? But now here's a problem that I have. So now this is in the holster-ish. There we go. The problem I have now is I'm trying to drag this over my body, right? And I'm pulling it on, and there's absolutely nothing that stops this fabric from bunching up behind the trigger like this, which then means this fabric could, make the gun go off while I'm putting it on. So again, not safe. Absolutely unsafe, and again, an issue that could be ameliorated if they specifically said on their website, to use this product in a safe fashion, you absolutely must buy the DeSantis pocket holster or whatever they call it on their website. but they don't. What they say is the user is responsible for providing their own trigger protection. And then they say that the trigger protection, the trigger guard, is a perfectly acceptable form of trigger protection. And I think I've demonstrated that it's not. Next, let's talk about retention. Again, these are marketed as activewear, right? They show a guy doing PT. The owner of the company has claimed that she's run marathons in their gear. And again, their own marketing presents these as activewear for concealed carry. Their retention test on their Instagram depicts a model who is jacked, by the way. Dude be shred city, looks great. He does 2 burpees and 8 high knees. Now I wanted to replicate that test, so I unloaded my Taurus G3C, and I'll explain why it was unloaded here in a minute, and put these on, shoved it down in there, and I did 2 burpees and 8 high knees as a set and did them in rounds. We're gonna cut to that video just so you can see what happened. So on the Alexo website, they showed a retention test for the gun, which you can see is freaking printing so bad through the loosest t-shirt I own. But anyway, they did a retention test for the gun that had their model do 2 burpees and 8 high knees. So guns in the holster, 2 burpees, 8 high knees. Here we go. 1, oh man. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's see. Still in the holster, but just barely. Let's do another set. Because who does 2 burpees and 8 high knees? One, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. 2 sets. Still in there. Whew, I bet if I do one more set, they're gonna come out of there. So, to lose the gun, it took a total of 5 burpees and 16 high knees. Failed. As you can see, it failed completely. You know, there's no logical universe where you would just do 2 burpees and 8 high knees and call that a workout, which is why I did them in rounds, and it took less than 3 full rounds of the workout as depicted by their marketing materials for the gun to launch itself out of the carry system. And the reason why I unloaded it is 1, doing that with a loaded gun would be insane, but 2, unloaded, my Taurus G3C weighs less than 23 ounces. Why is 23 ounces important? 23 ounces is important because on their website, the Alexo Athletica company claims that these shorts are only designed to be used with guns that weigh less than 23 ounces. And I said, okay, I will comply with your weight limit, and it still obviously lost the gun. And I'm absolutely certain that if I stuck my Ruger LCR or even a blue gun in there and did that same series of exercises, the same thing would happen. So let's talk about why that 23 ounce limit matters. And it's because I went and I looked up the weights of what are basically the most popular carry guns on the market right now, starting with the M&P Shield, 23.4. Glock 43, and these are all the loaded weights, mind you. Glock 43, just a vanilla Glock 43, 21 ounces. Glock 43X, 23 ounces. Glock 48, 25 ounces. SIG P365, 23 ounces. P365 XL, 25 ounces. Springfield Hellcat, 24 ounces. So you've taken all of the most popular carry guns on the market and said, these shorts won't work with them. It looks like really the only guns that work with these are mouse guns. Ruger LCPs, Kel-Tec P32s. I imagine my Beretta Tomcat is light enough to technically work with these. And of course, revolvers, but not all revolvers, because some J-frames are very heavy, and a Ruger SP101 certainly wouldn't work in those because that's also a very heavy small revolver. So it's pretty much Ruger LCRs, that Smith & Wesson Bodyguard revolver, I guess, your kind of ultralight, Scandium, snubbies, and things like that, and mouse guns. But their marketing shows people with Glocks in here. I know it may seem like I'm going hard on their marketing, and I am, because their marketing is sort of my central problem with it. If you go to their website or to their Instagram page, or I'm sure their Facebook page, I didn't look at Facebook, these are presented as a concealed carry product to wear during physical fitness. And yet, in every objective metric that you would use, they fail. For example, they fail to provide adequate concealment. Because there's no mechanism to tuck the butt of the gun, even a gun that is under the weight limit for what they say you can put in these would print pretty badly. My Taurus G3C, which when unloaded was under the weight limit, also printed. They failed to retain the gun during activities that were specifically displayed on their marketing. And when I purchased this product, as again, their website says this is an acceptable purchase to provide adequate trigger protection, is the rubber trigger guard and the shorts, it failed to provide adequate trigger protection. So the product in and of itself is inferior, and that's bad enough. But if they just made this and they said, hey, this is like a cool set of shorts to put your phone in and like some pepper spray or clip a knife to or something like that, that would be fine. And what's even crazier to me is I'm going to read a comment that they left on my Instagram page that I screenshotted because it absolutely blew my mind that they would say this while knowing exactly, this just blows my mind. Here we go. The trigger guard is an option for some, but we recommend using what you're most comfortable with. Many people don't even use our products for firearms. They use the carry pockets for multiple essentials. That's why they're called carry pockets and not holsters. And the reason why that comment blows my mind is it's acknowledging that these aren't acceptable to stick a gun in. They're saying, well, most people don't actually put guns in them, so it's totally fine. But your marketing markets it as a concealed carry product. Everything you have says this is a safe and acceptable solution to put a gun in. And that is what I find so offensive about this, is because it feels to me like it's a cynical cash grab to get money from people who are trying to carry guns to protect their lives, but don't have the knowledge to know why this product is inferior, which at the end of the day, it is. This is not a good solution for carrying a gun while you're doing fitness. It doesn't work for fitness. We demonstrated that. It doesn't work really to carry a gun. And yet, even though they know that most people aren't using it for those things, they still market it as such. And I don't like that. Obviously, I don't like that. I think that's very cynical. Best case, it's cynical. Worst case, it's negligent. And I don't think that's an acceptable way to go about your life. But now I don't want to completely trash these because I think that there is a way that these can have some use. So this is actually my second run at filming this. My first one, I just flamethrowered them the whole time. And I didn't want to end on that note because if you bought these, you've spent a lot of money. These shorts are $72, plus the trigger guard is another $7. You're looking at $80 for this pair. And obviously, if you work out a lot, you're going to have to buy more than one of these because they'll get sweaty and gross, and that's going to add up. But let's say you bought one of these because you wanted to try them out, and now you're watching this and you're like, these do suck. Or you wore them already and you're like, God, these really suck. Let me show you a way that you can make these a viable and safe option. So what I've done is I've taken a Dark Star Gear Apollo holster with a DCC monoblock and essentially clipped it over the holster, the fabric of the shorts. These have, the DCC monoblock is important. You have to have a metal clip like this, not one of the fabric clips. The fabric clips actually break really easily. But the DCC monoblock has a hook in it that will grab the fabric and then combined with the counter pressure from your body will largely keep this stable. And this belly band does have enough tension in it when it's on you to mostly keep this from bouncing around. Now, not this gun. This gun's heavy and it's got heavy grips on it. I don't have a DCC monoblock equipped holster for one of my LCRs because all I ever carry that in is Enigma these days. But this setup will work. It will provide adequate retention for physical fitness activities. It absolutely blocks the trigger from access. And it takes these shorts and turns them from a dangerous, unsafe product into a potentially viable solution for concealed carry. I will say you will still probably struggle with concealment. Your butt tuck still won't be as good because there's no mechanism for levering this towards your body. But if you have a holster that has a DCC monoblock or two of those DCC clips that can grab onto this fabric, when pressed up against your body, this will now retain this gun in a safe way that also allows for you to safely holster it. So that's the only way that these become safe and viable to carry. Using the methods as described on the Alexo Athletica website, their men's or women's tuck and carry shorts are an unsafe and dangerous product. They do not provide adequate trigger protection, and they do not provide adequate retention for the firearm. If you do something smart, like clip a holster to it using a DCC monoblock or those DCC clips, then you now have a safe and viable way to carry your gun. With that in mind, would I recommend that anyone buy these? Absolutely not. Under no circumstances would I recommend this as a first or second or third carry solution for someone who is looking to carry a gun while doing any sort of physical fitness activity. If you wanted to have a way to stick a gun in your waistband while you're going to go get the mail, I guess, sure, but then they're not comfortable to wear around the house. I tried wearing them around the house, and they were uncomfortable because of the belly band. You'd be much more comfortable if you bought a Filster Enigma and a pair of Ranger panties. And that is kind of the end of this review. They're not a safe product. They're not a good product, and it takes you adding a third party's product to them to make them safe just to wear. There you have it. Alexo Athletica shorts, 0 out of 5 stars. Would not recommend under any circumstances. I'm Caleb Giddings. Thanks for watching.